Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from the YouTube channel Redolessence. Welcome back to my videos. Thank you so much for tuning in. And in today's episode, I'm going to be telling you what I ended up picking up from Max Aroma when I did their $50 Max Aroma challenge. So stay tuned. Now, for those of you who don't know, Max Aroma is a distributor of both designer and niche perfumes. They are located in New York, in Long Island City. I've actually been there. I've done an event there. I visited their sort of headquarters and I got a chance to see all of the different fragrances that they carry. They are legit. They are a wonderful company to work with, and I love having this partnership with them. And they do send me fragrances from time to time. Truth be told, I want to thank them so much for A, sponsoring this video, but B, basically putting $50 in my account so that I can basically pick up whatever I wanted. And so I thought about taking a couple different approaches when I did this video. The first thing that I thought of doing was, do I just buy like one expensive fragrance at a deep discount and then putting perhaps a little bit of my own money to cover the remainder or the difference? And the second thing that I thought of doing was, do I just buy like a bunch of cheap fragrances and see how many fragrances I can purchase with $50? Because of course that could certainly be possible, right? You buy a bunch of like Cuba fragrances, or you buy a bunch of like really under the radar, inexpensive fragrances, many of which actually have a pretty solid reputation. And I thought of doing the latter to see if I was going to find like a hidden gem in there. And so I can say, wow, here's a fragrance I picked up for 10 bucks or 15 bucks, but it ended up being a hidden gem, and it's one that I would recommend. So I actually said, I want to explore a particular house, and I wanted to, because the only fragrance from this house that I really have experience with is Encre Noir. And now you know the house is Lalique. But not only do I have experience with Encre Noir and Lalique White, but I also have experience with the other Encre Noir associated flankers. So there's a sport version, there's an extreme version. But I said there are a lot of fragrances from this house that do get talked about from time to time, and I've always sort of been oblivious to them. And so I wanted to increase my olfactory palette. And so I said, you know what? As opposed to buying a really expensive fragrance at a discount or a bunch of cheap fragrances, I just want to explore some mid-range fragrances, let's say, but ones that have a really solid reputation, and I want to talk about them in today's video. So the first one is the self-titled one, and this is a composition by Maurice Roussel, of all noses, and this one is called Lalique Porom. And this one is, I believe, a 1997 release, so it was released in the late 90s. And the other one that I ended up picking up is Hommage à l'Homme, which I think is composed by Mathilde Bijawi and one other perfumer whom I'm currently forgetting. And this one came out in 2011, so it's a bit more current. So this one, the first one, it's a cedarwood scent. There's a little bit of vanilla in there. There's a lot of lavender in there. And so by nature, it's kind of a fougere. But I also pick up on this vetiver note. I know there's vetiver and patchouli in there because I picked up on this green quality about it. It was a very open and transparent blend, and there's a freshness in there, but it retains this professional aroma about it that I really like. This one, on the other hand, has a little bit of saffron in it, but it's really a violet-based scent. And so violet is a note that's classically masculine. I know it's used in a lot of women's perfumes as well, but violet, whenever I think of violet, I think of like Dior's Fahrenheit, I think of L'Homme Libre by Yves Saint Laurent, and this one has that same sort of dressed up appeal as the first one that I spoke about. But this one is a bit airier. It's a bit more airy. So this one, it's definitely one that I would piece with a guy who's in a suit and tie. This one, on the other hand, I feel like it can be worn a bit more casually because it just conveys a masculine aroma, but it's not something that's necessarily dressed up, although I can definitely see it being dressed up. You know, going back and reminding myself of a few other fragrances that I've tried from the House of Lalique, they definitely have an interesting character. And the one thing that I really give them praise for is that they really smell different from all other fragrances that I put my nose on. Whether you're talking about Lalique White, which I know it gets compared to a Parfum de Marly fragrance called Galloway, but obviously Lalique White came out first, right? And then you have Encre Noir, which also gets compared to Chanel fragrance, Sycamore, but Encre Noir came out first, if I'm not not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. And so they do smell different. They have a very unique personality about them. And these two, again, just goes along with what I've been saying about other Lalique fragrances in the past as well. And so I really do like these two. I'm happy that I was able to pick these up from Max Aroma for a solid deal. And I think that just goes to show you that you can actually walk away with a lot for 50 bucks. I think I put in like $5 of my own money just to cover the difference because I really wanted these. And I was like, well, I'm not just going to get one fragrance and say I've only spent 25 on it. I said I do want to sort of use the entire balance that was in my account. And so I want to give a very special thank you to Max Aroma for being able to provide me with these fragrances, having me do the Max Aroma challenge. I know a lot of other YouTubers did this video back in November, so I'm a little bit late to the party. I was a little backed up with content, but I want to thank Max Aroma so much once again for giving me this wonderful opportunity. If you guys have not checked them out, I will be leaving a link down below. They are one of my favorite websites to use. I've actually used them on my own on a personal level. My mother has used them. I bought a lot of fragrances for my mother via Max Aroma, and also my mother has a few coworkers that I've actually put on to Max Aroma. So they're really interested in like Delina by Parfum de Marly, and I recently bought La Vie et Belle, and so I use Max Aroma from time to time just for my own personal purchases. And so I want you guys to check them out. Thank you once again. I really do appreciate it. Also, if you do have experience with either one of these two fragrances, I would love to know what you think. Leave a comment down below. I always love replying to your comments. I love to start the discussion. Do you guys have a favorite Lalique scent? I think so far my favorite might be Encre Noir, just because it is a little bit more on the daring side. It's a bit challenging. It's very mysterious. It has that smoky aroma. It has a vetiver in there. But in terms of something that's easy to wear, easy to pull off, I think a new favorite might be Lalique Parfum for me. But I also like the sort of masculine violet nature of Hommage à l'homme, which pretty much means tribute to a man. Thanks again for watching, everybody. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button. This way, whenever I do put out future fragrance-related content, it will get delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any of my future videos, which includes challenges like these, fragrance reviews, top 10s, giveaways, unboxings, special guests, interviews, and a whole lot of other fragrance-related content. And also, please let me know down below as well. Are you interested in me doing a full review of one of these fragrances? If you are, I would love to do that. Thanks again for watching. I love you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.